he's seized with another matter in KZN, and he has requested Mr. Ramusipili to stand in for him on certain days, and on certain days, Mr. Munyeki will stand in for him. And we also have a new interpreter. It's Mr. S. Nzanga.
Nzamla.
Nzanga.
Nzanda.
Nzanga is M.
Nzanga.
Z. Yeah, Nzanga is MDZA NGA.
Okay. Do you know Ruth Nzanga?
Hello?
Do you know Ruth Nzanga, the late Ruth Nzanga?
No, my lord.
Hey, my lord. Very important freedom fighter. He used to stay in the same street with Sisulu and Nelson Mandela subsequently. When he was arrested with the 1956 group for treason, he got acquitted on that technicality. You read about the 1956 treason case?
Yes.
Hey, man. Fine. So he got acquitted, yeah, Ruth Nzanga.
Oh.
So he was one of the leaders of the march to Pretoria in 1955. Is it 55 or 58, Mr. Baloyi?
56, is it the march regarding the
So-called
Dompas?
pass laws.
Yeah, I think it was in August of 1956.
Yeah, fine. Okay, no, fine. Just history.
Yes.
Yes, Mr.
Thank you, my lord. Sorry.
As it pleases the court, my lord, I do confirm that yesterday I received a call from Advocate Khumalo,
Yeah.
requesting me to stand in for him for today and tomorrow, and then from Wednesday it will be Advocate Munyeki. He is currently seized with a matter in the Pietermaritzburg High Court, and he says to me he only got the communique on Friday that the matter is proceeding, hence he cannot be here today, my lord. I have communicated same to Mr. Mapisa, my lord, as the court pleases.
Have you discussed it with Mr. Mapisa?
Yes, I have, my lord.
And what is his attitude?
He is amenable, my lord, that I stand in for him, and then I've also explained that from Wednesday it will be Mr. Munyeki, but failing Mr. Munyeki, I'm willing to proceed to assist, my lord, in that regard, as the court pleases.
Mr. Mapisa, do you confirm that?
lenkantolo ngoba kwinkantolo yasePietermaritzburg KZN futhi ukhulumile ke nommeli okhona lenkantolo Mr. Ramusipili ukuthi uyacela ukuthi angene ecathulweni zakhe namuhla nakusasa ke inkantolo inkosi enkantolo bese yabuza kuwena ukuthi ngabe yakuvuma yini lokho. Yes, my lord.
Okay. So, Mr. Nzanga, you are a sworn interpreter in Zulu.
Yes, my lord.
Okay. We're all Zulu speaking. Mr. Baloyi, what other thing you wanted to report?
Yes. Our last sitting, my lord, was on the 10th of December 2024.
Yeah.
And Advocate Mshololo was busy with cross-examination.
Okay.
Then we had a brief sitting on the 8th of January 2025 just to thresh out the issue of legal representation of accused number 1, Mr. Sibiya, which was resolved. Advocate Mnisi will be appearing for him as well.
Okay.
So in terms of the arrangements that we made, my lord, Advocate Mshololo will then continue with the cross-examination today.
Okay, Mr. Mnisi, any new developments according to what we discussed on the 8th of January?
In such a respect, my lord, it's quite a few number of issues, but
yeah, which you want to report to us or to the court?
There's none so far.
No, none.
Yes.
So the situation is still as agreed.
As is, my lord.
Okay. Okay, yes, Mr. Mshololo, let's hear. still under oath, Brigadier.
Bakhumbuza nje umfakazi okhona ke lapha kwenkantolo ukuthi ngaphansi kwesifungo ke futhi ummeli okhona lenkantolo advocate Mshololo ke abuze imibuzo umfakazi okhona lenkantolo.
Brigadier, last time when you testified, I had already covered the issue regarding the Polo silver grey that is alleged by Constable Zongo that it was driven on the date of the incident at a Basotho hostel. However, I just need to get clarity on 2 dates, which is the 9th of February 2016. You remember that you testified that there is an infringement that was picked up on the 9th of February 2016, as well as on the 20th of March 2016. And in those 2 infringements, the car that was driven, the registration number for that motor vehicle was 79YZGP.
Yes, I do recall.
You remember that evidence?
The statement of Mr. Patrol.
Yes.
Yasokhona njalo ke ummeli uthi indaba nje afuna ukuthi athole incazelo yalo osele akhulume ngayo umnomzana Constable Zungu uthi kunemoto ke kade kuyipolo esilver grey kanje kade kunamalanga amabili bakhulume ngawo ke ilanga la nge-9 ka February ngomnyaka ka 2016 futhi nangelanga la nge-20 zaka March ngomnyaka ka 2016 ngapha sakhumbula yini lokho ke uyasho ukuthi ufakazi yebo.
And this Polo that was driven, that is alleged to have been driven in 2016, the color and its registration number, is it the same motor vehicle that is alleged to have been driven on the 26th of October 2014 when on the date of the incident?
Ngabe ke le moto ebakhuluma ngayo ukuthi futhi enale number plate okuyona ke kade ekhuluma ngayo ke ummeli ngabe iyona yini kade beshayela ke ngelanga lesigameko ngelanga la nge-26 zaka October?
No, my lord, we can't say with certainty because the statements insofar as the incidents of the 26th of October 2014 refers to a silver Polo and also refers to the suggestion that it may have been a hired car, but there's no specific registration number given. So based on that, we cannot say. The only similarity that it's a silver Polo and it was a car belonging to the shuttle services, but we can't say. I don't have evidence that says a specific vehicle with a specific registration number that was used on the 26th of October 2014. I don't have that, my lord. So we have similarities, but not the registration number.
Uyasho ukuthi umfakazi angeke asho ngokugcwele ukuthi iyona ke imoto eyodwa ke leyo ke uma sithwinta kodaba le number plate yemoto ke ngoba ke ngelanga la nge-26 October ngomnyaka 2014 futhi ngelanga la nge-20 kade ukhuluma ngalo ke kade kuyimoto ke eyakhiwe ngesakhiwo sodwana ke futhi nombala wemoto kade kumbala owodwa ke kepha ke ngeke asho ngeqiniseko esigcwele ukuthi malana nodaba le number plate uthi ngabe yiyona noma kusiyona yini ngoba imoto le kade kungenzeka ukuthi mhlawumbi imoto ke bekade beqashile la baqashisa khona ke moto.
And Brigadier, is it correct that the only way in law in which you can identify a motor vehicle is by its registration number?
Ngabe kusinjalo ukuthi ngokomthetho wala iningizimu ukuze umuntu akhona uqapha ke imoto kumele ukuthi imoto ayiqaphe ngombhaliso wayo yini?
My lord, I think the question is too broad. Yes, if we are talking about the specification that is now wanting to link the vehicle to its manufacturer, for example, this being a VW, to say, is it indeed a VW from Volkswagen South Africa? Then you need specification. You need the registration number, you need the VIN number, you also need the engine number, because then you confirm it. You confirm the details with the manufacturer. But when you talk to the commission of crimes, cars are described all the time by the description of how they look like. It's the same with suspects. People who describe a suspect in terms of the features, not necessarily the name of the suspect. So in my understanding, the same principle applies. If a suspect or a witness says, I saw a BMW 3 Series, tinted windows, and I think that vehicle had a sticker that is a construction vehicle or it's a ACPS vehicle that was present when the offense was committed, and you happen to find a similar vehicle during the course of investigation, there are similarities, my lord. But yes, if you want to talk to specific identification, you will need the engine number, the VIN number, the chassis number, and the registration number, my lord.
Uyasho khona njalo ukuthi umbuzo wonke umbuzo futhi onzulu futhi ojulile ngoba ke angeke usho ukuthi ke imoto iyona okuyiyo noma kuyona kuyiyo ke ngoba uma ukhuluma ama specifications la kusibala khona ke I registration number futhi VIN number futhi ne engine number yemoto kumele ukuthi umuntu abheke zona ke ngoba futhi waqhubeka wajobelela ngokwengcazelo yakhe washo ukuthi esikhathini esiningi uma ngabe kuda meke mhlawumbe udlame noma into eyenzakele lapho ke esikhathini esiningi ke abantu uma bechaza khona ke abasolwa ke abasho ukuthi umsola ubani futhi nokuthi ubani igama lakhe kepha esikhathini esiningi bavame ukuthi benzeke isibonelo ngokuthi basho ukuthi umsola isikhanyiso sakhe umuntu ubukeka ngelohlangothi olukanjena ke futhi wakhuluma futhi eqhubeka ukuthi uma futhi enze isibonelo sakhe ke asithi mhlawumbe kunemoto kathi BMW 3 series la khona ke mhlawumbe ukuthi amawundo khona ke athinted bakhuluma nje ngesifanekiso noma isibonelo sento nje enjalo.
And with the registration number of a motor vehicle, you can be able to get the names and the ownership of that specific motor vehicle.
That is correct, my lord.
Manje ke nge-registration number ke moto ukubhaliswa kwemoto ke ngabe yakhona yini ukuthola amagama omnini wemoto uyasho ukuthi yebo kunjalo.
Did Constable Zongu give you the registration number for the said polo vehicle that he identified at Basuto Hostel on the 26th of October 2014?
Ngabe Constable Zungu wakunikeza yini imininingwane yemoto abayithola lapha eBasuto Hostel ngelanga lange-26 of October ngonyaka 2014?
No, he didn't, my lord, because he didn't recall the registration number, so far as I can remember.
Yathi cha akaze anginike ngoba bekangayikhumbuli ke registration number nanoma ikhumbule.
Okay. Thank you, Brigadier. Let's move on to your evidence when you testified on the 31st of October 2024. I'll just read because it's a small question, but it's part of your evidence that you testified on the 31st of October 2024, page 20, line 10 to 15. You referred to this court to exhibit EEE6, EEE8. Those are the bank records for accused number 5. And also, my lord, he also referred to exhibits EEE3, EEE8. EEE6 is the one for the net bank. That's the one that you started with, and you placed the information belonging to accused number 1 on the record. You remember that?
Isihlahla lemuva ke ngelanga lange-31 nyakenye kumnyaka odlule ngelanga lange-31 October la kade ukhuluma khona ke mayelana nofakazi bakho kokuthola enkantolo lapha ku-page ku-cast 20 lapha kumugqa wesi-10 esho kumugqa lokozana wesi-15 lapho ukhuluma khona ke imininingwane yebhangi washo ukuthi la ukhuluma khona ke umsola wesi-5 bese ukhuluma ukuthi imininingwane leke kade kumininingwane kamsola wokuqala.
Is it the details of accused number 1 or 5? Just
Sorry, accused number 5. Sorry.
like number 5, yes.
Yes, accused number 5, yes.
Yes, I do recall, my lord.
Kade kacela ingazelo kumfakazi ukuthi ngabe imininingwane kamsola wokuqala noma umsola wesihlanu ke athi umeli imininingwane kamsola wesihlanu leyo.
From exhibit EEE6, the bank records from the net bank, wherein you read certain information into the record. Did you request the information from NetBank covering the period of October 2014 regarding the transactions under the name of accused number 5?
Malana nofakazi bakho ke bukhona lapha ku-EEE6 yaseNetbank ke yebhange kamsola wesi-5 kunoma wesihlanu ke ngabe wacela imininingwane leyo ke kubhange yaseNetbank mayelana nenyanga ka-October ka-2014 mayelana ama-transaction akhona ke?
Yes, my lord, I would have made that request specifically because that was the date that is relevant to this matter.
Athi yebo bacela ke isicelo leso ke ngoba yilona udaba lolu esijule kulona kulicala leli.
From the records that you received from NetBank, is there or was there any transaction, or let me say, is there any transactions on this exhibit, triple E6, reflecting transfer of money from Ms. Kelly Khumalo to accused number 5.
Malana nemininingwane ke owayithola lapho ke lo sicelo olukhona ke la Senate Bank lo triple E6 ngabe khona yini laba batshengisa khona ukuthi khona la umuntu obizwa ngokuthi uMiss Kelly Khumalo bekakhokhela khona ke akhokha khona ke imali khokha kule bhangi leli lomuntu.
My Lord, my recollection, and not only with regard to accused number 5, but insofar as all accused and from all institutions, not only NetBank, there is no electronic transfer from Ms. Kelly Khumalo to any of the accused. That we did not find.
Uyasho ukuthi malana nabo bonke ke abasolwa ke abakhona ke lenkantolo akukho ukukhokhelwa kwemali ekhona ke qhamuka kumuntu obabizwa ukuthi uMiss Kelly Khumalo eyakubona.
Or even cash deposits reflecting that is coming from her, not only to accused number 5, but as I said, it applies to all accused as well, my Lord.
Noma ke la ukhona ke ukukhokhelwa ke ngocash qhamuka mhlawumbe kumuntu abambiza ngokuthi uKelly Khumalo iya kubasola bonke singakhulumile ngomsola wesihlanu nje kuphela.
Okay, can you just be specific, Colonel, that we are referring to accused number 5 at this stage? Okay, when I'm asking question, I'm asking in respect of accused number 5.
Ngicela ukuthi ke mnumzane uKennel manje ke ujule ngobhala nofakazi bakamsola wesi5 wesihlanu ke ngoba ke ummeli yasho ukuthi imbuzo kuze yona ke imayelana nomsolo wesihlanu nje kuphela.
Because these exhibits that I've read into the record, they are only in respect of accused number 5.
Ngoba ke bonke lofakazi akhuluma ngabo ke noma ama executive akhulumile ngawo ke amayelana nomsolo wesi5 nje kuphela.
Okay.
That's okay. We're still talking.
Yes. Then on the, did you request from either of the banks, it's either in respect of triple E6, E8, E3, did you ask the information covering the period of the 2nd of August 2014 to the period of 15 October 2014, which was before the incident?
Umeyabuza ukuthi umeli ngabe wacela yini ke lapho kulamabhangi ke umfakazi noma mhlawumbe imininingwane egcwele oqhamuka ngelanga la nge2 zaka October ngomnyaka 2014 kuze kufince ke ngelanga la nge15 zaka October ngo2014 ngaphambi kwelanga leli sigameko August.
Yeah, 2nd of August 2014, between the period of 2nd of August 2014 and the period of 15 October 2014.
Uqhamuka ngelanga la nge2 isilungiso nje kuphela lapho kuqhamuka ngelanga iqala ngelanga la nge2 zaka August ngomnyaka 2014 kuze kufinca ke ngelanga la nge15 zaka October ngomnyaka ka2014 ngabe wacela yini imininingwane ke kumabhangi?
My Lord, I don't have a recollection of that because the two dates that Advocate Mshololo is referring to relate to the calls, not a financial transaction. They relate to the calls that were picked up between Ms. Kelly Khumalo and accused number 5. That is the date of the 2nd of August 2014 and the one of 15 October 2014.
Uyasho ukuthi wona ke lapho asikhulumi ke ngama transaction noma ukukhokhelwa kwemali noma mhlawumbe ukuhambiswa kwemali ngokwebhangi ke kepha lapho sikhuluma ke ngocingo noma ama calls enzeka ke phakathi komsolwa wesi5 futhi noKelly Khumalo.
No, I know that that's the evidence on record, Brigadier. But my question, just answer my question. Did you request the bank transactions covering that period of 2 August or 15 October?
Uyasho ukuthi lapho ke sikhuluma ukuthi ngabe wacela yini ebhange imininingwane uqala ngelanga la nge2 zaka October ngomnyaka 2014 kuze kufince ke ngelanga la nge15 zaka October ngomnyaka 2014.
My Lord, I don't have a recollection, but one will have to check because the record starts in 2014. So I don't have a specific recollection of whether when I requested this document, I started at the beginning of 2014 to date or what. So if perhaps then one will need to ask the court's indulgence that perhaps during the long adjournment, then I can check the application in terms of the date. I may have covered it, but I'm not sure, my Lord.
uyasho ukuthi akanaso isikhumbulo esigcweleke ngemalana nodaba lolo ke kepha yena ke yasho ukuthi malana nacelile ke akanaso isiqiniseko yiso ukuthi ngabe lo daba lolu waliqhubeka ngesikhathi lesi kade ke bhala ke isicelo sakhe noma kade esenza isicelo sakhe ke ngoba kwethe ukuthi uma ngabe inkantolo ingaze mthatha case isiqashana esingathi ukuthi ithatha ikhefu ke lapho ke la athathule khona isikhathi esanele sokuthi abuke ubufakazi bakhe bonke lokho obukhona lapha phambi kwakhe ukuthi ngabe lo daba lolo ulifakile noma akakaze alifake yini.
Okay, you can check that later on, Colonel, but let's continue for now.
Sorry, for my understanding, is it obvious or factual that if there's a bank transaction, you mention your name? Because if people bank money using the depositor's name, if you bank money for me, you go to Standard Bank and you see Rata Mokhatle. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't necessarily say so and so who is not. It doesn't follow that if Kelly, for instance, banks money on behalf of whoever will use a particular name. Doesn't follow. Does it follow, Ms. Mshololo?
Yes, my lord, I can clarify that question, my lord, from the witness.
Okay.
Yes. I know you've already said you're not sure whether you have records for these two periods, but on the other transactions contained in exhibits EE6 and 8, if a person deposits the money to someone else, and then how would you connect, how would you link that transaction? Is it not by account numbers of the two respective parties?
Manje kunombuzo ke eyasho ukuthi umile bekakubuzile kepha wathi awunaso isiqiniseko salokho ke manje kumbuzo athanda ukuthi awubuze mhlawumbe incazelo athiwe incazelo lakho wena ke ukuthi uma ngabe abantu ababili ke lapho ke benza ke ufakelana ke imali khona ke ngaba ababhali yini imininingwane yabo ukuthi zena kukhona ukubona ukuthi le mali qhamuka kumuntu othizeni ibese iya kumuntu othizeni.
My lord, my understanding, you will establish the link. That is firstly in terms of the accounts. If the money is transferred from one account, transferred, not cash deposit, to another, because then you are able to identify the account number, and obviously you can get the details of the account holder in the B section, and then subsequently say A, and then moved to the person who received it. So that is the first point, my lord.
Uphuzo lakhe lokuqala ke uma ngabe umuntu transfera ke imali engayenzi ke udeposit imali ke kula khona ukudobha khona kubona ukuthi imali qhamuka kumuntu othizeni bese kumela khona iya kumuntu othizeni.
When it's a cash deposit, my lord, you will establish the link only if the person who makes the deposit makes a specific reference, because they can put anything, anything. They can put my name, they can put whatever reference that they put. So all you will have is where the money is going to, but the depositor, it depends what the depositor put. What you'll be able to prove is that the recipient received that X amount through the bank or ATM deposit, my lord.
Uyasuthi malana no deposit ke imali ke uma umuntu edeposit ke imali emshinini webhangi ke lapho ke uvame ukuthi asebenzise noma yiliphi ke igama akavamile ukuthi asebenzise igama lakhe eliqondile noma igama lakhe leqiniso ke kepha ke umuntu othola ke imali leyo ke yena ke uthi abone ukuthi imali yena ke qhamuka kubani ke ngoba kuze umuntu esebenzise igama elithizeni.
And my understanding, my lord, this is under the normal course of bank transactions. It differs then when there are criminal activities taking place, because people then will want to conceal the identity of what they are doing, be it money laundering or any form of criminality. So the first two examples I've made are insofar as normal bank transactions when you do investigation in that regard. But then when such transactions banks are used for criminal activities, then the picture changes completely, because I don't think any criminal, my lord, will just put his details and say, or suspect and say, me, I'm depositing this money for someone to be killed, or I'm depositing this money for someone. That you will not find, my lord.
Uyasho khona njalo kujobela ke ingazelo yakhe kumfakazi ukuthi ke uma kwenzeka ugebengu ke esikhathini esiningi ke umuntu noma isigebengu leso kasifamile ukuthi sibhale ke imininingwane yaso eqondile asho ukuthi mina ke ngubani ngifakela uzibani ke imali yakhe eqhamuka kuyena ke ngoba ke lapho bonke mhlawumbe benza ke ugebengu noma kushushumbisa ke ngemali ke.
Okay. But also just for the sake of clarity, Brigadier, in respect of this case, there is no cash deposit that was transferred in either of these exhibits, in either of these bank records for accused number 5 from Ms. Kelly Khumalo to accused number 5.
mayelana nobufakazi obukhona ke la enkantolo uyasho khona kumele ukuthi akukho la kwadeposita ke khona imali kade kucash eqhamuka ke kukhile Khumalo iya ke kumsola wesihlanu noma eqhamuka kumsola wesihlanu yakukhile Khumalo.
Yes, that's true, my lord. But what we have on the investigation, at least the transactions that we can prove, is that money was paid in cash at Basutino Hostel on the day of the incident. We can account for some payments there in cash, and a later amount, as I've indicated in my last testimony, of 30,000. That was paid specifically by accused number 5 to accused number 2. That is now, you'll find that in the exhibit HH and JJ. I covered that aspect. But it was cash transaction. There's no evidence that we found.
No, Colonel, I'm referring to these exhibits. Triple E, we are on Triple E.
Yes, can I just finish, my lord? Because remember, can I just finish? Because these exhibits, the question that I'm being asked is in relation to this offense in general. We don't have evidence or any suggestion in the docket that says the money was transferred by Ms. Kelly Khumalo to any of the accused. What we have when it comes to the monies that comes to existence after the deceased was shot, my lord, is that money was paid in cash. That is what we can put our hands on, my lord.
Uyasho khona ke njalo umfakazi ukuthi ke lapho ke ayikho imali eqhamuka ke kukhele Khumalo ayikhokhile kumsola wesihlanu ke kepha ke uma sesibuka kumayelana nokushesha kwabo kwecala ke ngokuphenya kwecala ke ikhona ke imali ade ku 30,000 rand ekhokheliwe kokhelwa umsola wesihlanu ekhokhele kumsola wesibili lapho ke Basutino Hostel ke uyasho khona njalo ukuthi lapho ke mayelana yikho ukuphenya noma kushesha kwecala ngokuphenya kwecala okhona ke ngemuva kokuthi ke badubuleke umufi noma umufi sekashonile.
Thank you, Brigadier, for putting your hands up like that, but I am on these exhibits, on the bank records. That's where I am. I was just clarifying if there were any transactions on these bank records that were presented before this court.
Umeli yasho ukuthi uyakuthokozela mina nencazelo uyathokoza mina nencazelo yakho kepha ke lapho ukhuluma ngama bank records ngoba ufuna ke incazelo yakhona ke egcwele.
No, my lord. In these bank records, there are no transactions between Ms. Kelly Khumalo and accused number 5.
Thank you.
Uyasho ke umfakazi uthi cha mayelana nama bank transaction akhona ke lana ke akukho imali eqhamuka ke kukhele Khumalo ayikhokhile ke kumsolo wesihlanu.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uyabonga ke umeli.
Hey, my apologies. I keep on exchanging these Colonel and Brigadier. Which one is big? Is the relevant one? Brigadier.
Brigadier is my rank, yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Brigadier, you also referred to the contractual killing in your evidence. You remember?
I do recall, ma'am.
Yes. What did you mean by referring to a contractual killing?
I meant the deceased was assassinated. It was an assassin, my lord. There was a plot and a conspiracy to have him killed. And I said you will find that, as I said, as early as exhibit, before even exhibit HH and JJ, the first confession that was made by accused 1, then you will find that there was an instruction to have the deceased killed, and the purpose, or rather the reward for that killing, was the payment of money. So then it becomes, there was an arrangement for the deceased to be assassinated, my lord.
Ukhulumile ke ukuthi kwahlelwa ke mina nokuthi ke umufi ke abulawe ke ngabe kade bosokuthini ke ngalokho ke uyasho ukuthi lokhu uhlelo ke abahlala phansi bese bakhuluma ke ngalo bakhulumisana ke ngalo ke futhi ke lapho ke isibonelo sakhona ke ngemuva ukuthi ke umufi ke abulawe ke kade kuzoba ke ukhokhelwa ke ngokwemali.
Okay. You say there was an instruction from who?
From Ms. Kelly Khumalo, my lord.
La uthi kona ke bekunomuntu bekakhuluma ukuthi kwamele ukuthi lokho kwenzeke uyasho ukuthi uKelly Khumalo ke loyo ke.
Okay. Is there evidence relating to as to how that instruction was communicated?
Ngabe khona yini ufakazi obusitshengisayo ukuthi leyo nkulumo ke le yahlelwa kanjani?
Maybe if I've missed it in the dockets, the information relating to the instruction per se that was given by Ms. Kelly Khumalo to the accused.
Mhlambe ke umeli akalokho akubonile lapho ke kuma docket mhlambe mhlambe ngabe khona yini inkulumo eqhamukile ekhona njengofakazi qhamuka kuKelly Khumalo esho khona lokho?
Yes, my lord, you will find it in the confessions. Accused 1.
Athi yebo lokho yakuthola ke lapho kuma confessions la umuntu ekade akhuluma ke iqiniso khona ke yasho ukuthi umsola uqala
indicates that the killing was because of Ms. Kelly Khumalo who gave the instruction, and subsequently accused 2 also said the same thing in his confessions, and those confessions are part of the court record, my lord.
Uyasho khona njalo ukuthi lapho ke umsola uqala wakhuluma malana lapho kwinkulumo yakhe confession ukuthi uKelly Khumalo owasho ukuthi abenzelo ababulale ke lapho ke futhi nomsola wesibili ke lapho ngodaba le confession yakhe naye lokho ke wakhuluma.
Besides the information that is contained in those 2 confession statements, is there any other independent information relating to the instruction which is alleged to have been given by Ms. Kelly Khumalo?
Ngaphandle kwala confessions amabili okhulumile ngawo ke ngabe khona yini mhlambe enye ingazelo ekhona ke njengohlelo noma njengodaba lofakazi la uKelly Khumalo washo khona ukuthi ababulali?
My lord, if the question is to say was there a witness present when the instruction was given by Ms. Kelly Khumalo to the accused, we don't have that witness, my lord, if perhaps that's what Advocate Mshololo is asking me.
Uyasho khona njalo umfakazi ukuthi uma ngabe mhlambe kubafuna kumfakazi othizeni okhuluma lokuthi ngesikhathi lesikade kukhona inkulumo leyo ke kade akhona ke uyasho cha umfakazi onjalo ke abanayo ke.
No, I'm not specific to say is there any witness to that effect. I said, is there any other independent evidence relating to the instruction which is alleged to have been given by Ms. Kelly Khumalo other than the information contained in the 2 statements?
Uyabuza ke ummeli ukuthi ngabe kukhona yini obunye ufakazi obahamba bodwana obusho lokho ukuchaza leyo ncazelo ukuthi uKelly Khumalo uyena owathupha noma ukhuluma ukuthi akubulawe ngaphandle nje kwalobo bufakazi obubili okhulumile ngakho ke lo bufakazi lobu beconfession kamsola oqala futhi nomsola wesibili.
My lord, what you have corroborating evidence, because you have this assertion made, then you have, for example, the statement of Zungu, Mr. Zungu, who is a police officer, who narrates what happened on that day and corroborate or say things that seems to corroborate what is contained in those statements. You have the statement of Simpiwe Sifiso Zungu Kwabeni, who says certain things insofar as what happened prior to that deceased being killed. In other words, all the 5 accused meeting at Basutuni hostel, departing, coming back, accused 1 announcing that now have they heard that Senzo Meyiwa has been killed. And I've testified about this, my lord, that at this stage, it was before even the media covered the killing of the deceased. So and then you have Simpiwe Buthelezi, who implicates accused, I think 3 and 4, about their involvement in this matter. Simpiwe Buthelezi. So if you take, and this is now independent from the confessions, my lord, so if you take the confessions coupled with corroboration of what happened, what witnesses saw, and those whom the accused or some of the accused spoke to, if you take them into a totality, my lord, as a collaboration, it does create an impression that indeed this would have been a contractual killing. Because in my investigation, my lord, I found no evidence that suggests that any of these accused had a quarrel or anger or hatred with the deceased. They were not even in the same profession, so there is no reason that they would have been in conflict with the deceased, my lord.
Uyasho ukuthi khona kufakazi kwabantu ke obuningi la obuhambisanayo futhi obukhuluma ke into yodwa futhi obuxhumanayo ke ufakazi bakhona ke la kodwa kusho khona ukuthi babona ke abasolwa beqhamuka ke lapho hostel behlanganela khona ke bonkana futhi behamba bephinda futhi bebuya ke futhi la khona kade khona ke umsolwa futhi wagcina ke asho ukuthi ngabe suzwile yini ekuthizeni uSenzo Meyiwa sele abulewe ke futhi kunomfakazi uma ungalandela ufakazi bakamnumzana ke uZungu futhi bayahambisana futhi ke basichazela nje kahle ukuthi ngabe yini eyenzeka futhi ufakazi bakho Simphiwe esifisa ukuthelezi ke naye owakhuluma ukuthi ngabe yini eyenzeka ngesikhathi lesibeka batshela ke lapho ke kepha uyazi ukuthi ngemayelana nokubona kwakhe ke nokuphenya kwakhe kwecala uyazi ukuthi akukho la ngaso khona ke ukuthi ke kade kungekho ke ukuzwana phakathi kwabasola futhi nomufi ngoba ke kade bengekho kumkhakha nje owodwa futhi ke noma kade kungekho ukuzondana phakathi komufi futhi nolokozana nabasola.
And you also confirmed previously in your examination in chief that Ms. Kelly Khumalo was never confronted with any evidence that you have just referred to.
Busoshilo ukuthi inkosazana bathi uKelly Khumalo abakaze bamkhulumisa bamlande bambuzeke mina nofakazi onabo la kwenakhe.
Correct, my lord, and I gave the reasons as to why, my lord.
Yebo kunjalo futhi ngapha ngingazela ukuthi kungani lokho kungenzekile.
Thank you, my lord. I've got no further questions.
Uyabonga ke umeli futhi asudasela imibuzo.
Clarification. Who is it Sifiso? Simphiwe Buthelezi?
Yes.
Who is it?
Ngabe ubani ke uSimphiwe Buthelezi?
He was an acquaintance of accused 3 and 4, my lord, whom I think we read his statement in this court, my lord. It's on record, and I can say what he says. But in essence, he says on the day of the incident.
Let's take it slow.
Okay. Simphiwe Buthelezi was an acquaintance of accused 2 and 3.
Is he still alive?
No, he passed on, my lord. That's the person we dealt with, I think, in 2023 during the cross-examination.
All right. Who took his statement?
I took it.
Yourself?
Myself, yes.
Okay.
Kade bebuza ukuthi ngabe ubani ke uSimphiwe Buthelezi ke uyasho ukuthi umuntu akasebenzisana ke futhi nokade asebenzisana nomsolo wesibili futhi nomsolo wesithathu ngabe usaphila yini asho cha washona ke ngabe wathatha yini statement sakhe uyasho kumfakazi ukuthi yebo wathatha statement sakhe.
Who handed up that statement in court?
My lord, it came up during the defense. I was cross-examined, and I think when there were disputes in terms of what I was told, I recall it was during the period of the cross-examination of the late Mr. Mgomezu. So it came up during that time, and I know that then we had to read it, my lord. We had to read that one on the main docket, and as well as the ones that were contained in these other matters that were investigated by Sergeant Mohani. So it came up during that the defense cross-examination, my lord.
Ngabe ubani ke oletha istatement sakhe lapha kwenkantolo ke uyasho umfakazi ukuthi istatement saqhamuka la enkantolo ngesikhathi lesi ke abameli kade bebuza ke imibuzo ke uyasho ukuthi ummeli osele angekho osele washona ke umnumzana uMngomezulu ke futhi lapho ke kwamphoqa ukuthi bagcine befunda ke istatement sakhe besifunda lapha kwenkantolo.
In fact, my lord, my recollection, there was a dispute insofar as what was contained in the statement and what I was telling the court, and then the court then ordered that seemingly we are saying 2 different things. If I recall correctly, this is now myself and Advocate Mngomezulu. Mr. Mngomezulu, we're not finding each other. Let us read the statement into record so that the statement speaks for itself. And I think that is how, my lord, then it was read, my lord.
Article la kade bengabonike ngasolinye ke na ke umfakazi futhi nongasekho ke umnumzana uMngomezulu la futhi inkantolo lapho ukuthi abafundeke udaba lolo ke le statement basifunde istatement leso ke besifunda la enkantolo kungabi yilona ke indlela kwaqhamuka ngayo ke udaba le-statement lesi salo osele angasekho ke uSimphiwe Buthelezi.
So in other words, are you saying viva voce evidence? Your evidence was that Simphiwe said this and that and that and that.
Indeed, my lord. That's my recollection.
Inkosi enkantolo bebuza ukuthi ngabe usho ukuthi mayana nofakazi bakho ke obukhulumela enkantolo usho ukuthi uSimphiwe washo lokhu nalokhu ke bese umfakazi yasho ukuthi yebo kunjalo inkosi enkantolo.
Okay, fine. Yes, any questions arising?
No questions, ma'am.